This is Jemay Bell. I'm here at the Lingering Garden in Suzhou, China, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about gardens and the importance of gardens to the Chinese. So this garden was designed by a private family hundreds of years ago, so it's a very old garden, and the part that I'm in now is the garden for the women. Now, gardens were very important for women because they weren't allowed to go outside of the family house. So they hung out mostly in the gardens and embroidered. This garden has 5 key elements. The water, placement of limestone rocks, significant plants like the camphor tree and bonsai trees, and bridges and a pagoda. So I'll show you those in some pictures, but the garden also has feng shui, or important placement of objects for the positive flow of energy and blocking of negative energy. In the doorways, there are thresholds you have to step over that also blocks negative energy from flowing in. And for a family house, the threshold through the front door, the higher it is, the wealthier the family. Behind me here are lotus plants. The lotus is like a lily pad, a little bit larger, and it grows up out of the mud at the bottom of a pond or a lake. But the flower symbolizes purity, so it's also found in the women's garden because it's a symbol of purity for the women, so encouraging them to be pure. The limestone rocks were dug out of the bottom of a nearby lake here in Suzhou. And the best rock would have a light color. They're looking for rocks that have holes in them so you can see through the rock. They're looking for thin, tall rocks and rocks that have a lot of character, so a lot of textures in them. And those are the best rocks. And the more placement of rocks, the more stylistic. If you don't have any rocks in your garden, you're not a very wealthy family. Here I'm standing on the zigzag bridge. This bridge across the piece of the pond kind of moves back and forth, zigzags, partially because it offers different views when it does that, but also because it discourages or confuses the evil ghosts. So it has many purposes: beauty, but also feng shui and directing positive energy. Behind me is a ginkgo biloba tree, and some of these trees are 300 to 500 years old. The trees are symbolic in this garden. Some of them are willow trees. But when the family had a child, they would plant a tree for the child. So, for example, girls, they would plant camphor trees. And that tree was sometimes used for creating a dowry chest when the girl grew up. So many of these trees have symbolic purposes and meanings.